Hello everyone, welcome back to Crafts by the Bow. Today isn't my usual day to do a video or anything, but my paper pumpkin box has just arrived and I'm excited to see what's in it, and so I thought I'd unbox it and show you what was in it too. I know quite a few of my ladies and customers have ordered this for this month, and this is the one that we could order up until the 10th of October. And you get a month to order paper pumpkins, and it's always a surprise as to what's inside. Sometimes you get a little clue as to whether it's cards or what the theme or the colours might be, but we never actually get to see the project itself. And so this one we could order until the 10th of October, and I've just received it now, so it takes just over a week to 10 days to get to me usually. And then next month's is a gingerbread theme, and I think it's tags if I remember rightly, but I haven't seen what's in here. And I've purposely not watched any of the other demonstrators who have got their boxes because I wanted to be surprised this time. And I've torn that. Oh, I will stick that down because I love to keep these boxes and reuse them. And sometimes I'll make cards and use the boxes as sort of the gift box to give them in. And we used to just get the box through the mail like this with the stickers on, but now we get them in just wrapped, and so if it's wet, rainy, snowy or anything, the boxes don't get wet. And the stickers are on here, so we can use the whole box. And sometimes what I'll do is I might put a piece of card over, or another label or something. But I do always like to keep these boxes, and I'm actually going to, let's open this glue. I'm actually going to glue this little bit down that I just tore. See, I was in so much of a rush to open it. Okay, now let's have a look what's inside. Ooh. Every month you get a little stamping spot. They're just a little, let's see how big these are. Just a 1-inch square stamping spot. But it's a really nice way to build up your stamping colours. And you can order just one paper pumpkin 1 month when you fancy it, or you can get a 3-month order or a 12-month order. And within a year, they don't repeat the same colour. So if you're just building up your stamps and your inks, it's a really nice way to get them. And you can use this, buy the refill for ink and keep using these. And I like to use these small ones on the Stamparatus when I'm making maybe a batch of cards and I want to put the stamp on the little Stamparatus machine. And this makes it just so easy to stamp with. Now, because I've got this colour, the Just Jade one, I'll probably keep this and put it maybe in one of my little kits that I give away as a gift or something. So I'm not going to open mine. I'll just go and find my Just Jade. Excuse me a moment. Okay, so here we are. I've got mine just ready. Okay, and then here are the stamps. And then little bit about this time's paper pumpkin, and this is a different one in that we've got sentiments in English and French and German, and they're showing you which sentiment is in which language and what it actually means. And I know that there's going to be a Facebook group that you can join, and you could have pen pals across the world and send the cards to, which is something I haven't known Stampin' Up! Do before. So that's really nice too. And if you have friends in different countries that you want to send cards to, you can put the little sentiments on in their own language. Okay, let's see what's in here. Ooh. I'm going to move my box out of the way. Let's have a look. Oh, now they are pretty. I loved these lined envelopes in them. I do like that. Okay, so let's have a look. I'll open this just a little bit more carefully than I opened the box. I should have done this as a Facebook Live, shouldn't I? So that you could watch me unbox it at the same time. Okay. Wow, there's lots of things in this month. Get rid of that. There's some dimensionals. You usually get a sheet of dimensionals, and these hold 100 on here, and I always have lots left. And some twine. Looks like a red, maybe a cherry cobbler or something. Oh, okay. And some little embossed pieces. They look almost like a cable pattern, like they're a knitted design. Some in a rectangle and some in a square. And then here are our envelopes. And they say, oh, the same as the words, same as these words here. So the different languages to say peace, joy and love. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I think they're all the same. They all look to be the red inside, yeah. And then some stitched die shapes for sentiments and things. And let's just get rid of that piece of card because we don't need that one. I do save those. I use them for different projects. And here are the card bases. They look like they're in crumb cake with a gold, sort of almost like a stitched line, but not quite, not a straight stitched line. And then there are 4 of this one or 4 of this one, and the orientation is different. So, you know, if you're making them that way, you can see that the orientation's different on both sets. Pop those over there. Ooh, these are pretty. Little cutouts, look, that are already stamped. And then some little wreaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. And then some gold foil. Oh, this is pretty. And these are where the words have come from. So we've got the joy, love, peace, and then the same sentiments, but in the French and the German. Now that one's a nice one. Look at this, amour. You could use that on anniversary cards and birthday cards and things. So if you don't have anybody that you want to send it to, where you want to send the French words, or even if you only just want to keep one of them, you could certainly use that on a different kind of card. Let me just pop that back in. And then let's see how many of those there are. So 1, 2 of those, and then this little gold banner in there as well. Okay. And then the little glue dots. Now, I must admit, I don't use these glue dots. I find them just a little bit tricky. Let me just get a pokey tool out to show you. The top, you take the top piece of paper off, and underneath is your glue dot. But I find that they're not as easy to use as the big glue dots, because you then have to take them off with a pokey tool or your picker tool and use this piece. But I don't find them as easy to use. I know some people love them, but they're not my favourite. I'd rather use my roll of glue dots, because that way I can stick an embellishment straight on here and I've got all the space around it. Whereas if I try to put an embellishment sometimes on here, you'll find that it's too close to the glue dot next door. So I tend to use these, but these work perfectly. Okay, and let's move that. Let's have a little look at the stamps. Let's see, let me just get my notebook so that we can see it a little bit easier. So there's a stamp that says, sending to you and yours, to the world, joy, Merry Christmas. Oh, that's a nice font, the Merry Christmas one. I like that. And here's a nice one to go inside wishing you a very happy Christmas filled with love, with fun and laughter. A little flower. I think that maybe matches the ones we saw here. So that would be nice to stamp on the inside of your cards, on your envelope. And a little wreath and some berries. Okay, so this must be like this little wreath with the berries. I wonder if you stamp that on top. Let's have a little look. And then you get your instruction sheet in here, and it always has this little ruler in. When I first started getting paper pumpkin, we didn't have that, but I've noticed for the last maybe just over a year, we've had that little ruler, and it makes it so much easier if you're measuring twine or anything. And because we've got twine, it just means you don't have to get a ruler out, you don't have to faff about. It's there on the instructions. And often I will take these kits away with me. If we're going away in the trailer for the weekend, I'll take these. And you can bet your life I don't have, you know, a measuring tape or something with me. So the fact that everything's on here makes it just so much easier. And then we've got 4 of this one design and 4 of this one. And then on the back, if you check on the back, you'll see that Stampin' Up have started to give us some other ideas. So if you don't want to make the card exactly as shown, if you want to use a few different items, or you want to change the colour, they give you a few little ideas. And here you can see this is a little paper pumpkin box. And see, this is our ordinary paper pumpkin box, but these ones are in the annual catalogue, and they're a little bit smaller, and they fit note cards and cards just nicely. Whereas this, although we can use them as gift boxes and things, see how there's a lot of space around it? You know, so if you want a smaller, more compact box, these ones are just plain white, and I like to use them, put DSP around almost like this is done, and maybe a ribbon and a label, and just make, you know, 4 or 6 note cards in a box to give to somebody. Okay, right. Let's have a little try. Let's have a go with something. I'm quite excited to use the Christmas ones. I wasn't sure what we were going to get, and as I say, I've not looked at anybody else's unboxing or ideas that they've made with it or alternatives. I just wanted to wait and see mine. So which one shall I make? I think I'm going to make this one. So we need the backing that has the horizontal lines. Okay, and then looks like we need the square embossing piece. I like to sort of second guess what they've used and everything, but really, if you need to know, it tells you everything in here. So this one, and then we need one of the gold banners. These are pretty. And it looks like you're going to have lots of little extra pieces as well that you could also cut out and use as banners. Okay, so I've got those. I need one of these with 2 of the cutouts. So 2 little cutouts. And then we need, that looks like the bigger stitched rectangle. So let's get one of those. Sometimes I will leave them in here and stamp while they're still attached. But just for the sake of this, I'm going to take one out. And we need some twine. And that's all I can see that we need on there. So let's have a little look how they've made it. Okay. So they've got number 1, it says to get your stamps ready. So where did I put my stamps? They're hiding already. You can probably see them on my desk. Where did they go? Oh, here they are. Okay, and which one did they use? The Merry Christmas one. Oh, the one that I said I quite liked the font on there. So let's take this off. I love that these are photopolymer stamps as well. It makes it so much easier to line up. What I do tend to do when I get photopolymer stamps is just rub my thumb over I know some people will sort of rub it on the back of their hand like this, because sometimes there's a little bit of residue on these stamps, and it means that they don't stamp straight away. They don't stamp their best, so I always just rub them. Okay, let's find a block. Pop that on there. And because it's photopolymer, I don't have to worry about lining it up on the block. I will try and stamp with it first though. Let's find a little scrap. And let's just see. I'm going to pop that over there so I can see how they've made it. Let's see. Oh, that's nice. Isn't that a lovely font? Okay. Well, let's get this stamped. I'm going to just line it up on my grid paper here. And then try and line this up a little bit too. I'm not worrying too much. I'm just going to hold it there for a couple of seconds. Nice. Let's pop that away because I don't need that again at the moment. Okay, so here's my base. The little square with the embossing on has the twine going round it. So I'm going to undo this, and I'm just going to attach this with a couple of glue dots. So I'm going to put the glue dots on the back here. I'm going to put a couple down, and it will just hold my twine in place. And it looks like you need it to be just a little bit bigger than the little embossed paper or the embossed card. Now it's a little bit bendy, look. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut a little bit off. It probably tells you inside how much you need. I'm just going to cut a little bit off. And I find that if I just run it through my fingers, it straightens it up. See how that makes it so much easier? Let me take this off here. And now it's straight. So it means you're not fiddling about, you know, with bends and curves and things. Oops. I'm not sure why I put one right in the middle there. And don't be like me, you know, read the instructions. That's what they're there for. I'm just playing all on my own here. There we go. Okay, and then I will have a look, see if those are glued straight down. Stamp and attach die cut labels and wreaths, 18 inches of twine. Put them on the card bases using dots, layer and adhere the pieces in order, printed die cuts on dimensionals, foil die cuts with adhesive dots, and stamped labels with dimensionals. Okay, so we need to have dimensionals on here, and it looks like they've got it this way round for over here. So let's find a couple of our dimensionals. And it's going to be this part of the flower that's under the sentiment, so that's where I'm going to put the dimensionals. I'm going to put it so that it just sticks off here. It's a shame because you won't see too much of that flower. Maybe on the next ones I'll change that round a little bit so that you can see a little bit more of the flower itself. Okay. We'll have that like that. Then the little gold one, so let's find our banner, and we'll put adhesive dots on there, the little glue dots. This is when I find it easier to use the roll of glue dots. When you're trying to put sort of dots on, I find that too difficult to do on those little pieces of paper. But that's okay, because, you know, whatever works for you is perfectly fine. I'm just going to put that through the middle of those. Try and make sure it's level. And then the little stamping that I did is going to go over here. Oh, you can see a little bit more of the flowers, look. I stuck them out a little bit further. And it's still going to fit on here. I made them, and then at least you can see a little bit of the flowers. Okay, so I don't know if they have that stuck down or are more glue dots. I think I'm going to stick mine down just because I'll probably want to be mailing these. And if I have 2 layers of glue dots, I know that often it won't fit in the envelope without extra postage. So I'm going to pop these like this. I might just need to move that one down a tiny bit so it fits in its envelope. Let me just see. As can you see, it sticks over the top, just that little tiny weeny bit. Let me have a look. Oh no, that will fit in the envelope just fine. Okay, and then I'm going to attach this here. I don't know, again, if they've got them on dimensionals or not. Let me have a look, see if it says. I can't see in the picture if they do or not, but it almost looks like they've got a little shadow around them. Printed die cuts, dimensionals, foil, stamped labels. Okay, I think you can choose. So I'm actually going to glue mine down just because I know I want it to go in the mail. So I'm just going to put mine with the wet glue. If you're giving them, you know, by hand, or, you know, you're not worried about the mailing, then you can just pop it on there with the dimensionals as well. There we go. Wow, wasn't that quick and easy? I love that. And there's its little matching envelope. Okay, so I think I might sit and make a couple more. Make one of the ones with the wreath on. I'm just wondering if this wreath does fit on here. Let's have a look. I bet that's how you get those. Can you see that extra row here? You must stamp on top. And you'll just have to line up to see where it goes best on the wreath. That's going to look really pretty too. Okay, maybe I'll just have to stamp the wreath. I won't make the whole card. I'll just stamp the wreath. Let's see. Let's just drop that down there so that it's not sort of distorted from when I pulled it off. Pop it on here, and again I'm just going to rub it. And then let's get that Just Jade ink back again. Oh, that's pretty. Now let's have a look how it would line up on here. I wonder if it's easier to take that little middle piece out so you can see the shape. I'm going to take the whole thing out actually. Not quite sure. Let's turn that over. Not quite sure how this is going to line up. Might take a minute just to check. It might be one of those where no two are the same. I think I'm going to just try it like this, because I think it will go through some of the dots and the little berries and leave some. Oh, isn't that pretty? Oh, I like that. Okay, well, I'm going to put these away and I will carry on playing, and I'll post a picture when I've done one of the other cards as well. So thanks ever so much for joining me for my little unboxing of my October paper pumpkin. I'm loving that. Thanks everybody. I'll see you all again really soon. And if you've got this set and you make the cards, pop one of your cards on the comments at the bottom so that we can see what you did, especially if you did something a little bit off-piste and made it your own. Thanks everybody. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.